Hello, this is Black117 here, and today we'll be discussing our post-com of week 2 in the DBL against Mav of the Sarina Poison Sting. So I could first of all I wanna say my before I continue the video, um like be sure to watch the team builder from my side, which I'll link in the description. The reason why is that I'm just gonna re-go over I'll just simply go over what Mav and I brought and what we could have potentially brought, and especially in that video I just discuss all the possibilities. So yeah, um, be sure to check that out. I will One last comment I will say before we get into the battle is that given the lack of how do I say it, I made my team builder probably I'd say a few weeks ago, or a week ago before we initially like battled until the very last day we battled, meaning prior to maybe over a week I did modify the team to have I think that's the same EV spreads. It's just the only difference is that I know I raved about Zapdos having Mimic. I think I gave Zapdos Reflect and Mamoswine. I remember saying I don't know if I remember saying if I gave it knockoff. I did give it. I just in the end I decided Crash is better in case I don't get hit by King Shield or whatever you want to say. Um, so yeah, that's what happens when you don't battle initially, and because I would typically look over my team over and over and just think, okay, maybe this Reflect and Crash is better than what the original moves are. So I would just go over the team right now. So this week I brought Dragon Dance Mega Gyarados. Uh, Follow me, support Magmortar with Taunt and Helping Hand, and this is allowed since it was available in XD. So like I'll help us out with our redirecting any deadly attacks. We have offensive Terrakion. The only thing with the ground DMZ from Earthquake. Whimsicott with Worry Seed. No beat up because I'm sure whether or not he would just follow me the feet up away, and then all of a sudden that doesn't even work anymore. Um, so I just gave it Worry Seed so I could disrupt his Mon's abilities Gothitail's Shadow Attack, Kang's Parental Bond and whatnot. So he didn't bring both of those, so that's really good on my end. Mamoswine is I talked about it being fully specially defensive, not fully specially defensive because it doesn't have HP investment. It has max attack and max special defense with a Dick Bat to take special hits better, especially when you pair it with my dual screen Zapdos. Um, so yeah, looking at his team, the fact that he did not bring neither Gothitelle or Kangaskhan, just I'm already okay with that because that means he can't trap my team and I don't have to deal with an overpowered Mega. So yeah, I will have to deal with the camera because it's camel and it just hits hard. So Araquanid was a pick that Mav just got very last minute. So I had a feeling that he would bring it. I'm very surprised he brought it with Arachnid plus Cradily. Like, that makes me think whether it's special with Surf or something. I don't know. So, because of how Storm Drain is. So, he brought I expected he would bring Aegislash Hydreigon and uh, Togekiss. So, Whether or not like those three were like pretty much given since they matched kind of well against me, and I think he was like probably expecting like maybe Mega Gyarados, I mean not Mega like Gengar or like Metagross. So yeah. So in terms of leads, I just decided to go turn one with my pre-made lead and decided to lead with a Gyarados plus Magmortar. On the off chance he goes with like Togekiss plus maybe plus Camerupt or something like that. So and one last thing. This is just best of three, so we have to win this series. We have to win 2 games in the series to advance. So all right, well, we'll get the battle started. Um, Here he sends out Camerupt and Aegislash as I go into World 2018 and the Clown Magmortar. So I get my Intimidate off and I send Magmortar. And so turn one, I am already like skeptical about whether to Mega or not to Mega. So just for him to think that I might not, I might be still be regular Gyarados, and I really don't know what to do because one last thing I forgot to mention is that Mav has Titanium Z, so that already made me like that. There was that alone makes me like decide to stay regular form for a while. So because I'm worried about Aegislash having a Titanium Z Sacred Sword, and he probably knows that I might have like Z Earthquake from either one of my mons, either Gyarados, Terrakion, or Mamoswine. So in this turn, I'm like gonna play it safe, and I know that I'm wasting my own mon here, my own Magmortar. So I decide to turn one Dragon Dance. He goes to Cradily expecting Dragon Dance, expecting a Dragon Dance. But I follow me, and or maybe a water move. I go for my Dragon Dance, and he easily goes for um his Earth Power. So at this point, I am already down my follow me redirector, and I'm surprised that he just flushed out his Aegislash with this for his Cradily, but I think he probably expected a water move, even though I don't have one. And really, I can still make him think that I'm a regular Gyarados still, just so I don't take any further damage from like let's say from Earth Power, or like even take damage from like using like Earthquake against my own mon. So I decide to switch in my Mamoswine, and here's where I think about, okay, what should I do? Because if I just Earthquake, I just cover everything, and I thought about going for Crunch, Megaing, but then I realized, no, I'm just gonna hurt myself. So I've decided, you know what, I'm just gonna stay regular for a while. And so yeah, he goes into Araquanid. I go for Ice Fang to do some damage, and I go for my Earthquake to do a lot of damage onto the Cradily. And Cradily responds back with a Giga Drain. As you can see, our Assault Vest is on special investment is helping out a lot, and we did a lot. And right now, like we're doing um it did negligible damage, but it allows Mamoswine to stay in the game. So here, I'm like, he sends the Araquanid, and I'm not so sure whether I'm pretty certain that he's probably gonna switch his Cradily out just to use his Storm Drain to not well, just to like use Liquidation, and I just decide to double target my the Araquanid. So I go for a Crunch and a Stone Edge. So I hit my Crunch here. Doesn't have a 50% berry, and I land my Stone Edge, and that's already huge because I got one threat out of the way. Like if there was one Pokemon I wanted gone immediately, it was Araquanid. So he sends in Hydreigon and Aegislash, which Hydreigon can also have a Z move. like with the Thief Focus Blast, but I'm like, really? Like, at this point, I'm kind of paranoid because, like, any of these mons could have a Z move, like, or something. So I decide this turn maybe the best case of action was to protect Gyarados, and uh, Hydreigon just goes for the Draco Meteor. I go for my Icicle Crash, and it leaves it to 4% onto the Hydreigon, and I get credit, which honestly kind of matters because this is my bulk. I don't know whether or not he had like Steel Plate or something like that, but I think Mamoswine just dies in vain, really. Well, I'm able to get rid of the Hydreigon to reduce Hydreigon to like 4%, so any move knocks it out. But in all seriousness, I wasn't so pleased with that turn. So here I go into my Whimsicott, and really, um, like in all seriousness, I'm like thinking to myself, okay, what he's gonna do? I decide I wanted to crunch the Hydreigon, but I felt that Togekiss might switch in. So I decided to Ice Fang in that slot, and as for the Aegislash slot, I decide, well, like, I'm still worried about that C move somewhere. So, because he could still use the Z move even if I go for Encore. That's another mechanic about C moves that I kind of don't like, because like they could just bypass like taunt or Encore. So here I decide to like Encore the H slash hoping he just doesn't have it. He reveals that he's Scarf Hydreigon, and I just go for the Ice Fang. So at this point we got rid of Hydreigon, but we also Encore the Aegislash. So his Cradalius is sent out. Here he switches out the Aegislash for the Togekiss, and I just crunch the Cradalius because I don't want to see that thing again. So it's a 3v. It's a 3v. Right now it's a 3v4 in my favor, I guess you could say. But the Camerupt, he has Togekiss and Camerupt here, so I'm not so sure what to do here. So I decide my best course of action was to just protect and remove the sheer force on Camerupt for like maybe like um for me with my Worry Seed. The reason why I protect is so I can get a better position into better positioning with Terrakion. Since Terrakion plus I believe Terrakion plus um Gara actually knocks out, should be able to knock out Togekiss as long as he doesn't have like a berry or something, like whether it's citrus or like um well, you'll see. um I go for my protect here, and I go for the Worry Seed. He doesn't go for Follow Me, and he actually reveals that Togekiss is C move, and he goes for the all out pummeling. I don't know whether that's based off of Aurora Sphere, so he knocks me out, which is exactly what I wanted. So I faint, and I go into my Terrakion. Here I can't go for my Z move just yet because I know that he could still like follow me. So at this point, this is still a close game, and at this point, my number one priority is to get rid of Camerupt. But at this time, because Zapdos doesn't have a move to touch it, so if I get rid of Camerupt, I could probably win this game with Zapdos with Light Screen support. Um, so so at this point, I decide this is like probably gonna be the turn that I have to like. Well, I don't know whether he'll stay in because I'm thinking to myself like, is he gonna switch out with Camerupt to regain his ability, or is he going to like get rid of Togekiss or follow me with Togekiss just to attack one of my mons? So here, he switches out to Aegislash, and I go for my Rock Slide, and it does a chunk to Togekiss, and I go from the Ice Fang onto Togekiss. Um, I did do that just so that it forces him to choose which mon like he who wants to take out. So um, also you should notice Terrakion is faster than um, Terrakion is faster than Gyarados, but because the reason why that is because I only made this Gyarados fast enough to outspeed his Mega Kangaskhan and Hydreigon at like +1, but slow enough to where like Terrakion things like Terrakion with Zubat or like something like Gengar outspeeds a certain target like before like it's always like a good idea so that I can like have that said mod like Gengar Terrakion get some shift damage on Tokikits before uh it goes before I go down. So um like at this point in this game, I'm in. I don't want to say I'm in the command and I'm in the driver's seat, but like I still have to get rid of that Camerupt. So here he switches in Camerupt, and he will have his sheer force again. So I decide. I make a ballsy prediction and decide, well, if he's going to attack me, he should attack me like right now because Gyarados is the threat. And I decide, well, I haven't revealed my C move yet, so I don't have to worry about getting it redirected. So at this point, I decide I'm gonna waste it on Camerupt, and he goes for Wide Guard predicting Earthquake, but I go in for my Z move, and I get rid of Camerupt immediately, and I just go for the crunch on the Aegislash, and yeah, that is good game for Mav. That was a very the end game kind of went perfectly, well, almost perfectly, but like Drakion was able to like kind of hold to get like some good chip damage, and Gyarados I think got like it did well this game because it got like 4 kills, and I expected it to get somewhere around that get around that range for like one of the battles. So yeah, but yeah, like this isn't over, so we still have one more game to discuss, and I'll get back to that later. So yeah, this is game 2. So far, I am just gonna say right now that like going into game 2, like he does not know my Zapdos set, and I decide maybe I should just go into Mammothline and Zapdos so that I could set up a light screen because he does have more special attackers than physical attackers. Well, potentially, I don't know about Aegislash or Aegigon, even Camerupt really, but like I decide that Mammothline plus Zapdos seems very solid late because I don't want to lose my Magmotor too early, like as I did last time. So we'll see how that plays out. I go to Hannibal and Marjorie, and he leads with Cradilly and his Camerupt, and I think he was expecting my Magmotor, but I decide, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I decide I'm just going to start Earthquaking stuff immediately. So yeah, turn 1, I decide, well, he can't prevent the Earthquake. There's no way aside going for Protect, really. So I decide this is a free Earthquake. This is like a free Earthquake, really. While I set up my light screen to help out Mammothline. The light screen with paired with the Assault Vest will help me like take like his special attacks from his camera far better. So especially also with the Dick Fat as well. So it reduces like any damage by like taken from let's say Dick Fat from his fire move. So yeah, from Mammothline. So I'll just play the game. He switches out immediately and goes into Araquanid to take the ground move, and he megas his camera up just to do some damage. I go for Earthquake, and I get some good chip damage onto Araquanid, and I get some good chip onto Camerupt, and he goes for Stone Edge on Zapdos, and that's actually telling to me because I think it seemed like he was expecting me to have some kind of some kind of like screen support. So um yeah. At this point, I'm debating like what to do because Araquanid's on the field, and I don't want to lose Zapdos. I really don't want to lose Zapdos, and I feel that maybe it's might be the turn where I might have to use Gyarados as a defensive switch. Even though there could be a whole lot of things that could go wrong because Stone Edge can actually he could decide to go Stone Edge on my Gyarados or on Mamoswine slot. So yeah, that could be very bad. So I decided that Mamoswine. Well, obviously at this point, I feel given the damage, Mamoswine is going to be important in this game. So I decided to switch out Mamoswine and go into my Gyarados, get the Intimidate, and put the Reflect up so I can take any physical hits better. And 16 damage. That is like really good damage for me. He puts me in my Agua Berry range, so I recover back. He switches out and goes to Cradily, like expecting a water move. I don't know if he knows that I don't have a water attack. So I go for Thunderbolt onto the Cradily slot, which was originally Araquanid, and I go for Crunch onto the Camerupt so that I get rid of it immediately. So right now, like I have a Gyarados with screens up, and I could easily set up if I want to. So I'm already in a really fantastic position, and Zapdos is really bulky. Araquanid is on the field now, so like the fact that he switches in Araquanid makes me believe that he's gonna switch out his Cradily. So I don't know. So uh, I immediately switch out my Gyarados and go into my Whimsicott just so I can take a water hit. I go for Thunderbolt onto the Araquanid because I gotta get rid of that thing immediately ASAP. He goes for the Leech Scythe for just trying to get damage and recovery. And the Cradily actually goes for the Mirror Coat. And honestly, I don't have any moves to hit the Cradily at all. And aside Thunderbolt, and then Thunderbolt is the only move that really doesn't even do that much damage to me. So I'm in a really good position now. So at this point, I'm debating here. I kind of make a gutsy call because like I have a lot of board positioning right now, and I could just easily just encore his Cradily if I want to. So I decide I'm right now I'm debating whether or not to attack or to like whether to attack the Araquanid with Thunderbolt or to encore the Cradily. Here, I actually predict him to go to either Aegislash or his Hydreigon. So I decide maybe with Cradily, like he's not going to how to say it uh I don't think he would just attack my Zapdos with like a rock move. 'Cause I haven't seen him do anything else. So I decided to hit the Araquanid and double target the Araquanid because in case he switches into Hydreigon, that covers and cover just to take an electric pigment hit that covers my switches. So here he actually switches out and he goes to the Hydreigon, which is huge because I actually go for Moonblast just to knock out the Hydreigon, and it goes out very well for me because I got rid of a huge threat. I go for Thunderbolt not as a prediction, just more like because I targeted the slot and it just so happened that it targets Cradily. He goes into a Slush Bomb, and obviously I'm not going to be able to take that because I'm 4 times weak, and really that puts me in. Well, that doesn't really put me in a bad spot. I'd rather take that trade really any time of the day. So, my light screen does wear off, but I could easily set one up now because Hydreigon, which was Scarf, like now I surely outspeed most of his team now. So yeah, he has Aegislash and Cradily. Um, Here I decide, well, I might as well just start targeting down the Cradily with Icicle Crash, whereas I set up a light screen. He goes for Wide Guard, expecting an Earthquake, and I go for my light screen, and I just crash because I felt like there was no reason. I just want to get rid of the Cradily here, and I do get a flinch, which is kind of unfortunate. So, but that stuff kind of happens. I do get my reflect up because my reflect does wear down, and I know that Arachnoid's still on the field somewhere. So yeah, I do take out the Cradily with the Esco Crash upon second hit. He got another crit onto the Mammothine, and surprisingly, I take that with the Light Screen. um, so yeah, at this point in the game, I'm pretty much in the driver's seat, but I have to like try to figure out uh, how to like he has a weakened Araquanid, but like I have to like ensure that Togekiss is knocked out before it does anything. So I decide here my best option, since Mamoswine's gonna die anyway, and he might have Shadow Sneak, I might as well just go for the Ice Shard onto the Togekiss because I know that I'm slower than this thing. So I decided just to go for the Thunderbolt and the Ice Shard onto the Togekiss to get some prior damage. Maybe it knocks it out, I don't know. So I go for my Ice Shard, does like 46%, and Thunderbolt like barely doesn't kill. Probably able to roll. He actually wastes his C move here. And he goes into Hannibal. I don't know if I agree with that because I think he should have just went for Aura Sphere or so. And at this point in the game, I could actually just clean out the game with Zapdos and Magmotor because I could just like hit everything with like the electric moves and fire moves. Or you could just simply follow me. Like it's just like it's safer. Um, with the screens up, I could just like pick off whatever I want to pick off. So I just follow me. Like at this point, it's pretty much over because I just follow me to victory. I follow me again here, and I just pick off the Arachnid. He actually goes for Shadow Sneak. I'm not so sure what he does there, but like, um, so Arachnid just dies, and at this point, Zapdos is just like, it's just looking for his like vengeance or whatever. So, light screen. I decide here he's gonna King Shield, so I just put up light screen just to be safe, and I just taunt. What? Just reveal that I have it. So, um, at this point, it's really like it's Aegislash versus the world, and it has to face a Gyarados, a Z Ground, or like Terrakion, a Zapdos that can recover, and a Magnetor. So here I just do some solid damage. I got a paralysis. It's not gonna matter since I connect with my Heat Wave. So yeah. GG to my opponent, Mav. And really, it's just like that was a very close. I would say the first game was very close. Still, I feel like it could have gone either way if he had protected or if he had his Togekiss or like make the right calls. But I think I think we were able to like I think we were able to like to get that W like easily. So I don't want to say the second game. Like the second game was a little bit more like I think we had more control of the second game than the first game because I think he still could have won. I don't know how much like Earth Power on Mega Camel would do without its sheer force. I think it might knock out Gyarados, Terrakion. It might be a roll. So then again, it might not be. So because it has a stupidly high special attack stat. So yeah. Um, regarding this battle, I'd say that was a very very like interesting game. Like Mamoswine did a lot of work, even though did a lot of pivoting. Kind of did like and Whimsicott did a lot of work. Like they were able to like ensure that certain mons don't get like on his team don't become like a problem. Like Mamoswine took out Arachnoid like game one, and also like heavily weakened the Mega Camel, which is huge. It also weakened like the Cradily, the Togekiss. It pretty much shredded his entire team really. So Zapdos actually did a lot of work in game two, like with the reflect and light screens. It just mitigated the damage output from his team and allowed me to like either just attack freely, really, as it seemed like he was just trying to stall out the screens in time. But like, in all seriousness, like Gyarados was the right call in this game. Like, given the fact that I had a feeling to bring Aegislash and Hydreigon. Like he did bring the Scarf Hydreigon as I was thinking, and Araquanid. So I wasn't so sure he was gonna bring a Camerupt at all. So like it's like it was like one of those Pokemon that I just kind of like. I was like, if he brings it, he brings it because Camerupt. I thought I prepared more for Kangaskhan, but sometimes I don't know. So I did have Terrakion just for Kangaskhan and the Hydreigon and the Togekiss Cradily. Terrakion was good against most of the team, anyways, and then Whimsicott was there for support. So yeah. Um, Again, good game to Mav as we go to 2-0, and I think our differential is like plus 15, just given our how the league is. So yeah, Gyarados has I think 5 kills. Mega Gyarados has 5 kills now, or like 6. I don't know if they count Mega Gyarados with regular Gyarados since it's separate. Zapdos has now 6 kills after it got like one against the against the it got one against like Araquanid and the Togekiss. Wait, did Araquanid kill a Toad? Let me see. So I know like Araquanid. Alright, let me see. Did Zapdos get a kill? That's what I was trying to say. Okay, Zapdos did kill Togekiss and it did kill Araquanid, so yeah. So Zapdos did his job holding on the team defenses. And then yeah, I think game 1 was more close. It was a lot closer than it should have been. Or so. Or it was close. It's just that like I don't know whether he would protect on certain mons or not, so and that could have put me in a very dangerous spot, which would have forced him or like me just to be, you know, like game 1. I think like the very end game, I kind of want to get rid of Camerupt immediately because if I got rid of, even though I got rid of Togekiss, like I had a feeling he would switch out, but like if he didn't, then it's probably that was on me. So yeah, I'm very surprised that like this game was really hyper offensive. Like there was few no protects, except on my side of the field. So except he had King Shield, so yeah, but um, like I was like very surprised how the games went like this fast compared to the other games. The other games like really didn't. Like, there was just like over 20 plus turns. Wow, this one was like over like 30. But this one was like only like 9 turns each, or like 9 to like 11 turns each. So whatever. All right, so take game to my opponent, and I'll see you guys in another 2 weeks. So yeah.